Welcome to Rotterdam, the Netherlands' second largest city with a rich history as a major port and thriving hub for arts and culture. Rotterdam has its origins in the 13th century when a dam was built on the Rot River, leading to the development of a settlement. By the 14th century, Rotterdam had become an important center of trade and shipping. As its port grew over the centuries, so did its wealth and importance. Though much of the medieval Old Town was destroyed during World War II bombing, Rotterdam is not stuck in the past. After the war, Rotterdam chose to rebuild with an eye towards the future. Today it is known for its bold, modern architecture including the cubist cube houses, the angled Erasmus Bridge, and avant-garde landmarks like the Kunsthal Museum. But Rotterdam still proudly celebrates its maritime heritage. Visitors can explore the city's history at the Maritime Museum housed in a former warehouse, view ships from around the world at the Floating Maritime Museum, and climb 185 meters up the Maas Tower for panoramic port views. Beyond its architecture and port, Rotterdam hosts exciting festivals, exhibits contemporary art and cutting-edge fashion, and offers fantastic multicultural dining. Bars and nightclubs provide venues to experience Rotterdam's legendary nightlife. Whether you're interested in old or new, history or modernity, Rotterdam's diversity uniquely blends the past with an innovative future. Join me in exploring this dynamic city and see how Rotterdam continues to reinvent itself while celebrating its centuries-old heritage as one of Europe's great port metropolises.
To your right, you will see the Maritime Museum. A port city like ours, of course, must have a Maritime Museum. Here, young and old alike can learn all sorts of things about shipping and harbours. Interesting exhibitions are held on a regular basis. Behind the Maritime Museum, you will find the Harbour Museum. Here, you can see ships, harbour cranes, and other trans-shipping equipment from the period.
Zijn de uitstappers?
Ja. Ja. Okay, this is stop number 6, the shopping area.
We are now driving onto the Veena, the business district and financial heart of Rotterdam. Many international companies have already got to know the efficiency and what you see is what you get mentality of the hard-working Rotterdammers, and have established an office or subsidiary here. Central Station is located on this street, which makes it an even more attractive location at which to start international business. Unilever, to your right, was one of the first multinationals to establish itself here. In front of its building is the largest bronze sculpture ever cast in the Netherlands. It is called the Lichaam der Eenheid, in English, Unity Embodied. But many Rotterdammers can't see much unity in it, and have nicknamed it Scratchy.
Yeah, that's the statue on the left, on the right, there. Soon we will pass it. Yeah, I will show you.
This listed building is a typical symbol of the rebuilding research. This enormous block of offices was built at the start of the 1950s for entrepreneurs who had lost their business premises during the bombardment. It was, and still is, the largest commercial building in the Netherlands. The complex includes a 1 mile long path through the building for the delivery of goods. This is the place where, before the war, the old Leidorp Zoo was situated. During the bombardment in the first phase of the Second World War, the zoo was heavily damaged. Many animals were killed. Rotterdam, the best hop-on, hop-off tour through Rotterdam. Because of safety concerns, we request you stay seated while the bus is in motion. We also advise you to use your safety belt while the bus is in motion.
Origin of Rotterdam. Rotterdam originated where a dam was placed in the river De Rode in the Middle Ages. This is also where the city's name comes from. The city received city rights in 1340 and grew prosperously in the following centuries thanks to the port, trade and fishing. At present, Rotterdam is the second largest city in the Netherlands, a bustling metropolis with over 630,000 inhabitants. Nothing is left of the medieval centre except for Lawrence-Kerk. At the beginning of World War II, on May the 14th, 1940, the historic centre of Rotterdam was bombed by the German Nazis to force the Netherlands to capitulate. The bombing and subsequent fire killed more than 800 people and wiped out the centre of Rotterdam. The statue, the ruined city, by Zandspijnen, found on the Pledge 1940, is a permanent monument to commemorate this event, which was so profound and defined Rotterdam's history. After the war, Rotterdam spent decades rebuilding and remaking the city. High-rise buildings and innovative and groundbreaking architecture have been given a prominent place in the centre of Rotterdam, while the few historic buildings that survived the bombing are cherished. It gives Rotterdam its very own special and unique atmosphere.
Rotterdam Philharmonic Orchestra is the most important tenant of this building. The Doelen also hosts the well-known International Film Festival. Part of this new building is the futuristic, diamond-shaped Paulus Church, located at the right-hand side of the Calypso. Under the motto, "Overcome evil with good," vulnerable people are traditionally given shelter in the Paulus Church, the Woesterstad, or the ruined city. And in the evening and at night, they light up in red. Along the water, here on the Westersing, you will find 17 works of art, which are part of the International Sculpture. Here, you will find work by famous artists such as Picasso and Gauguin. This sculpture route, which is just over a mile long, is part of the cultural axis and can be walked in about 2.5 hours. We have nearly arrived at our next stop. This stop is a fantastic opportunity to visit one of Rotterdam's many museums, such as the Maas River, the Natural History Museum, or the Kunsthaus. This is also a stop to visit the trendy Witte de Windstraat, with its many welcoming cafes, restaurants and galleries. Here you will find the Daily Planet once named the best café in the
Anybody wants to go out?
We are now arriving at the Bilderberg stop.
The floating white wooden building, which was built in 1908 in Jugend style, was originally the headquarters of the Rotterdam River Police. It now houses the harbour master. The most special thing about this quarter is its character, which is full of contrast. Looking out from these 19th centuries around us at the spectacular skyline with its modern and futuristic buildings gives a very special feeling. Almost all of the large Rotterdam shipping companies started around the Fair Harbour, including the Holland America Line and Rotterdam-based Lloyd. The Fair Harbour, or Ferry Harbour, owes its name to the ferry connecting it to the Katendrecht water on the other side. Until 1878, this was the only connection between the northern and southern parts of the city. These days, the Fair Harbour serves as a home harbour and marina for sea-going yachts with a historic character. Every year, the race of the classics starts here. A race between historic three-masted ships, with the city's beautiful skyline in the background. It makes for a great picture. The statue was specially made for the Netherlands by the Russian artist Leonid Biranov.
Euromast. The Euromast was built in 1960 for the first edition of the Floriade, a major international horticultural exhibition. The Floriade is held once every 10 years, and in 1960 it took place the first time in Rotterdam, in Head Park. At the time, the Euromast was 107 metres high and extended to the wide section of the restaurant. The architect was inspired by shipping, the mast of a ship with a crow's nest, from which you can look out over the horizon. In 1970, the space tower was added, making the Euromast at 185 metres once again the highest publicly accessible observation tower in the Netherlands. In clear weather, you can see the coast as far as 40 kilometres away. And for the daredevils among us, in the summer months, you can abseil from the Euromast.
On average, some 4,000 cyclists make use of the tunnel every day. Inside, there are 8 enormous historical wooden escalators, which cannot be replaced as they are protected. As you may have noticed, the Netherlands is a country where people like to use bicycles to get around. In fact, our country has more bicycles than people, and it's estimated that there are 19 million bicycles, 17 million inhabitants. To your right, you can see the entrance to the tunnel for bicycles and pedestrians. Which exits onto this roundabout is called the Maas Tunnel. The tunnel connects Rotterdam South with Rotterdam North and runs under the newer Maas River. This was the first traffic tunnel ever to be built in the Netherlands, and its construction began in 1937. During the war, work on the tunnel continued, and it was finished in 1942. More than 75,000 cars drive through the tunnel every day, making this tunnel an important link to the Rotterdam road network. Today, the Maas Tunnel is a national monument. To your left, you will see the Erasmus Medical Centre. This hospital is linked to Erasmus University and is the largest medical centre in the Netherlands. Because of its rather chilly exterior, Rotterdam is sometimes called it refrigerated. On the right, you will see the Euromast Park with the Norwegian Siemens church. This beautiful little church dates
stop. Stop number 4 is the most important stop of the route. You have the cube houses. There you can also buy souvenirs, walk there. You have the maritime museum where you can see there's the Rotterdam in the harbor is over there. And then you also have the Markthal where you can have food. The last stop, because the next stop is the ship again. So when after you will look again. We willen bij mensen bij maritiem eruit.
Ja, we gaan er meestal...
Ja.
Presenting a virtual tour of one of the most impressive market buildings in Europe, the Markthal Rotterdam. This incredible building in the Netherlands is home to one of the largest covered food markets in Europe. But it's not just the market inside that makes this place so spectacular, it's the jaw-dropping architecture. Let me describe it for you. The Markthal has a massive arch-like shape, with apartments built into its sloping sides. Through the center runs the covered market, illuminated by huge 36-meter-high glass windows that allow sunlight to pour in. Looking up at the inside of the arch, you'll see a phenomenal work of art, a colorful mosaic depicting colossal-sized depictions of fruits and vegetables, like a giant banana and apple. It's a feast for the eyes. After wandering through the bountiful market, one can't help but admire how this building merges traditional market shopping with modern design. It perfectly encapsulates the spirit of Rotterdam, embracing heritage and innovation. The Markthal is absolutely a must-see for anyone visiting the Netherlands. Its stunning architecture and world-class market make it one of Europe's most unique structures. Let me know in the comments if you've visited this amazing place.
Ja, ze maakt zelf brood.
Because there's no one else.
Tienes que comprar empaquetado. A ver, no exactamente.
Maar maak je jou een beetje blij.
Kijk, maar die mannen die zijn niet meegelopen. Ik denk het niet. Sausen kostet.
Break, come on. Well, we'll go upstairs, he says.
Sorry.